Welcome to Inside the Skev, or should I say, welcome back. And I'm your host, Aaron Masliansky, realtor extraordinaire in Evanston and Skokie and everywhere beyond. And we are back here today. It's been a little bit of a hiatus. Been working on some other projects, working on selling real estate and everything else. Have a global real estate podcast called The Real Estate Diplomat that I've been doing. But I just want to get back to here local and find out what's going on. And that's why I thought it would be great to bring back Inside the Skev, talk to people here in Skokie and Evanston and beyond, and really showcase what is doing here in our local neighborhood. So for my first episode back, I thought, okay, I've got to have the person who really is in the know of downtown Evanston, what's going on. And I'm bringing back Annie Coakley. Annie's been on the show before. And Annie, thank you so much for joining me again.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks. I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
And a lifetime and the last couple of years, right, that have passed since we've been together. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
You're welcome. So what's new?
What is new? Well, we've had a pandemic.
Yeah.
We've had a political change, thankfully. So we're hanging on, downtown Evanston, the organization, and I said this last time I was on, but just as a refresher, we're a place management organization. We do a whole host of things for the downtown businesses in the public realm necessarily. Mm-hmm. So flowers and street pole banners and events, holiday decorations, placemaking, murals, all the advertising, which we do a lot of, garbage removal. So some stuff that's not, doesn't seem as exciting, but is also just extremely relevant and keeping the downtown attractive and a place where businesses want to do business. So business attraction is the key.
Yeah, economic development, really.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't think of a more challenging time period to be in the role that you're in as opposed to the past 2 years. So how have you managed to keep businesses going throughout the pandemic and, now in this new phase, whatever we're in? How do you keep it together?
Well, retention was sort of the name of the game, right? At the beginning of this, it was like, we're not really going after businesses right now. Let's just try to keep everybody that's here. So Mayor Haggerty, who was the mayor when this all started, created a business task force, of which I sat on, and Catherine Gotzik from the Maine Dumpster Mile, members of the chamber, members from various banks, because as you may recall, it's sort of like, it was just not that long ago, but it's already kind of out of our minds, really, was the major amount of PPP relief and then PPE. So we were getting people the supplies they needed to stay open and the money and the funds and the grants and low interest loans and everything in between.
Yeah.
That was a lot of heavy lifting in the early days of this. So really organizing together, like how do we reach out to businesses and let them know where to get resources, mainly capital. And then, of course, gloves and masks and signage and all of those things, just trying to keep spirits up a little bit. It's hard to even think back on that, but it was really not that long ago
that
we were
that long
doing
ago.
that. And we had a lot of help from our local banks, and they really stepped up to the plate. And it was kind of, not an easy process. None of us had ever done anything like this before, right? I mean, sure, people have, gone to banks and gotten loans and things like that, but this is a whole other world, like all the processes and paperwork and will these loans be forgivable? It was very trying, actually. And we hosted so many webinars with businesses and shared additional resources. Catherine Gotzik took the lead on this, huge checklist of all of these things available, and not just from the government, but from, large corporations that were digging in and putting their own money out there for people to apply for, restaurants and restaurant relief and small business relief. It was like Spanx was giving away millions of dollars and, grants to small women-owned businesses. So, I mean, the whole world, we were really digging in and seeing everything that was available to people, and making sure we shared it. So there was that. And then locally, LEND, which is out of Northwestern, it's an acronym, I can't remember the name of it, but LEND, L-E-N-D. It's student run, but it's, got a really great board of directors who are either alumni or local businesses. In downtown Evanston, I was really proud of this. We sold T-shirts, and we raised $28,000 to give to LEND, which they then filtered out to people who applied for their loans. And we hosted a raffle, and we raised some money that way too.
Kind of like micro-lending.
It's exactly micro-lending. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is incredible what you did. And it saved a lot of businesses, I would say. I remember talking to Nina Barrett from Bookends and Beginnings. This is a couple years ago at this point, but she was struggling to figure out all the different SBA loans and getting things done. And then she ended up, I think, getting PPE. And I mean, everyone just learned about what the SBA does, became experts on this over the past couple of years.
Truly, yeah. And the state had funding coming out of the state, like the BIG grant and EIDL. And there were... Yeah, I mean, every facet of anyone that was providing some kind of either low interest loans or grants, mainly grants, we were really looking for grants up for obvious reasons. We were digging in and figuring out where it's coming from. And then, like I said, this robust checklist that we shared with everyone and, and apply for everything. Everything and anything, I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of fatigue in filling out paperwork and things like that, but... We've saved, not we, this task force or anything, but these businesses really were able to keep their doors open because of those dollars. So it's great and it's huge for us. Of course, we did lose businesses.
Sure.
That's inevitable, right?
Yeah. But new ones have opened up as well.
We do have quite a few new ones. It's very exciting. We've hosted several ribbon cuttings recently, and we have some more coming online. I'm pretty excited about those as well.
So who are some of the new ones that we should know about, and who's coming?
So the one that I'm most specifically proud of, Paul Zelmazek, who you may know is the Director of Economic Development for the City of Evanston. Mm-hmm. And he and I, pre-pandemic, or maybe it was in the middle of the pandemic. Yes, it actually was sort of in the early days. We visited a store in Lincoln Square called Eco and the Flamingo. It's a zero-waste general store. Very, sustainable practices. Literally, it's kind of if you may remember, going to Whole Foods, early days of Whole Foods, when you would have your own jar and you would go and fill it up with peanut butter, seeds, or whatever the product might be.
Yeah.
And then you would weigh it. They're back to that. So you either can go in with your own container or you can use their container and then just continuing to refill it with soap, laundry soap, dish soap, soap for your own hygiene. And they have seeds and coffee, and all of their products are, their whole method is zero waste. So they have opened in the former Subway on Orrington, almost Orrington and Grove.
Oh.
And next to that is the Plant Shop, which is new and replaced a coffee shop.
Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm. So they just sell plants there?
They do, yeah. Plant Shop Evanston. It's a Chicago-based also business that is got their second location here. So they're a great little corner, so you can get your plants and anything you might need from the Zero Waste General Store, Eco and the Flamingo. So we visited them, we showed them around as we do, and they landed on this space. They also got a little bit of money from the city for remediation of the store, and now they're open, and we're thrilled to have them here. And then the other one that everyone is very, very excited about is a vegan restaurant.
Yes.
Elephant and Vine. Yeah.
Yes, very, very exciting.
Very exciting, and they're doing great. They also have a Chicago location and I believe a Wilmette location under a different name.
It is in Winnetka.
Winnetka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So they're also open.
I got to check it out. Do they have lunch there too?
They have lunch, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keep that in mind right now.
And the big news was the movie theater, of course. When they
tell
closed.
us about that. What's going on there?
So they closed, as many did. that was one sector really hard to kind of manage during a pandemic.
Yeah, how
You're
do you
sitting
keep a
right
place
next to
open?
someone and you're putting popcorn and, it's like it's a whole thing, and it wasn't very COVID friendly for obvious reasons. So people are really reluctant to go back to the movies. Now, I am a huge moviegoer, and I was really heartbroken when I saw these movie theaters shutter.
Especially Evanston.
Yeah. But thankfully, AMC has signed the lease there, and I just toured it the other day, the theater, and they're really the right side of the theater, as many of your listeners will recall, was 99, maybe 100 seat, and that was sort of like the art house side.
Yeah.
So those are going away, but they're making room for a trampoline space.
Okay.
So it will have, Top Flight, it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Top Flight.
So Top Flight is going to be here, and then on the other movie screens will remain on the left side of the movie theater. So July they're looking at. We should be able to...
For both sides to be open?
I don't know about the trampoline side, but the movie side, they're shooting for July.
Now, that's pretty awesome. Are they going to still have like independent films that they used to have on the right side, or is it going to be more of the blockbuster?
Fingers crossed that we can work with that. I've been talking to the AMC team and telling them, that is definitely a need and a want for this community. So, yeah. So hopefully they'll have the good stuff. It's not all popcorn flicks. We need some thinkers in there.
Yeah, it was the place that you'd go to be able to see anything like that here.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be another theater too, right?
Oh yeah, Northlight. Yeah, live theater.
Yes.
Totally. That's a really exciting one.
I've got to have them on the show. I've joined Rotary since. Well, maybe I was in Rotary when I was doing Inside the Skev earlier, but the people who are running it came and spoke to us about what's going to be going on there. But why don't you tell us?
Oh, it's just, we haven't had live theater in downtown Evanston, and at least I think since they were here. And in fact, when they were here, I don't know where they were located, but it's been a very long time, a couple of decades at least.
Yeah.
So they will be located on Church Street, and they've purchased the building, and now they received $2 million in ARPA funding from the city, and that's the American Rescue Planning Act dollars, of which Evanston received $43 million and some change. So
yeah, that was huge.
Very, very big for our community, so it's excellent. And those
Thank
are
you,
recovery. Yeah. Those are recovery dollars. They're meant to be spent. They're meant to be spent on exactly these kinds of projects. So there's quite a bit of money left over in the quote bucket for economic development. So the theater coming back, and then the aux is another project that went through, and they are receiving $1 million of funding.
What project is that?
It's outside of downtown, but it is a incubator for Black-owned businesses. And there's an exact sort of version of this in Milwaukee. And I think the name of the parent organization is the Giving Season, and I think I got that right. But they're taking over a property in the 5th Ward, and we'll have a minority incubator there. So that's
Do you know
really
where
exciting.
that is located?
I don't know it off the top of my head.
Okay.
I can see it, but I don't know the address.
Are some of the funds that are going to be used for that from the reparation fund too?
No, it's all the ARPA funding, right?
That's great.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's incredible. And like I say, there's still a fair amount of money in that bucket, right? I think it's a little over $5 million that's still left for economic development initiatives and whatever else may come of that. But recently last week, Paul and his team presented to the Economic Development Committee a RFP. Well, they issued an RFP, and then they had the final responder, the one that was scored the highest, essentially, to create a strategy and implementation plan for our business districts. So we're hoping we can get the city council to support that ask as well, to hire this team. Mm-hmm. And they cover every discipline from branding to placemaking to retail, which is a huge component of it.
Yeah.
And then land use and zoning and all of that other quote, urban planning.
Urban planning stuff that we love.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. I hope we can get the council to vote on hiring this group because they're outstanding and their plan is great. I mean, we read 6 different responders' plans, and theirs really is like top notch. So fingers crossed we get that. That will be perfect ARPA spend because it's literally a plan to help these several business districts from Howard to Central on how best to position ourselves and to make, to compete with communities we hadn't competed with in quite a while.
Like who?
Well, Wilmette. People are often coming to me and to my counterparts and colleagues. Wilmette is doing an amazing job, what they've done, and I hate to break it to everybody, but the plan that they had in place for their streetscape was well before the pandemic. Timing-wise, it worked out so that they did have, beautiful new sidewalks and streets for outdoor dining.
Yeah.
They put themselves in a perfect position. It wasn't a response to the pandemic. It was planned well before that. But dining outside was never more important than we've just seen it to be. Yeah. And so they had an advantage on us for that regard specifically. And communities like Skokie at the mall, they're creating like a SSA of sorts. Yeah. It's not exactly the same way, but they're raising a tax to create a fund to improve the mall in its public realm and landscaping and structural things like that. It's hard to compete with a mall. When you are downtown
since the 1950s.
Exactly. Yeah. Our streets are downtown Evanston isn't a linear block like Central Street is.
Right.
We have a lot of nooks and crannies and a lot of one ways, which I think is often associated with the difficulty of parking here. Because if you miss a spot, you have to go around like 3 blocks, right? And you're like, hopefully that spot's still there. We have some big
parking garages, though.
I love the parking garages. Yeah, they're not always a fan favorite, if you will. I think they're great. Park and be done with it, and get your 10,000 steps, right? We're supposed to get 10,000 a day. Yeah. So those are some of the things that this organization will hopefully be able to help us either dispel some myths too, right? Like the parking is plentiful here. Be nice if we could put a spin on that. And we don't have free parking in Evanston.
True.
But it's a city. Wilmette's a village. Villages can have free parking. Cities, it's a little trickier. We have a lot more expenses.
Well, we have a lot more people here, and then you have the trains, so people need to, if they're taking the train downtown, although that's shifted during the pandemic and things like that. But when you look at like retail and different opportunities that have changed because the world has changed, what new types of opportunities do you think there are for people who want to open up businesses here that didn't exist 2 years ago?
Well, we have more stores to choose from, right? So we have some vacant storefronts, obviously. But there's not that many. Honestly, I'm working with a business who asked me for 2,500 square feet, and I'm like, well, where could they go? I have like 2 in mind, but that's really it. With Church Street Plaza, so that's the building that the movie theater is in, and a lot of people don't call it that, or they don't think of it as like a shopping center, although it is. Yeah. They have the new owners. It was purchased about a year ago, G&W Properties, and they have done a phenomenal job leasing that. So they almost have no vacancies over there at all.
What about the restaurant space?
So that's going to be part of the food operator who will supply concessions, if you will, to the trampoline space.
Oh, okay. So it won't be a restaurant then.
No, yeah. Okay. But they do have some restaurants lined up. They have an e-gaming lined up. They do have some medical lined up. And they're, as far as I know, retaining Blick, World Market, and Chili's. And then Dogtopia, that's all part of. So when you are driving on Church Street now, going east, obviously. Yeah. Those 2 floors, you'll see people like jumping on trampolines in there, which I think is going to be really a cool thing.
Yeah.
And then they also had Dogtopia, which is a national dog daycare place. They opened in that center on Clark Street, and they're doing phenomenally well because everyone got either a plant or a puppy, right?
One or the other, yeah.
Yeah, so the plant shop and dog-related things have definitely been great for business during a pandemic.
And the hotels, what's going on with like the Orrington?
So I don't know how public it is, but it's been sold to an operator out of Oklahoma, and they're keeping it a hotel.
Cool.
Yeah, there was several people interested in maybe converting it to residential, and some pieces of it would be residential and some hotel and some office, but this is just straight hotel deal, so we're thrilled.
Is it going to be a new brand or?
Yeah, and I don't know which one. I wish I did. I would share it if I knew.
Yeah.
I would, I promise.
Okay.
Speaking to that, though, one of our biggest challenges is that, a lot of the hotels, they do phenomenal business because of Northwestern.
Yeah.
But they also do very well from our corporations, Rotary specifically, and, some of the other large companies that are headquartered or at least have, significant office space in downtown Evanston. And that is, to me, the biggest hurdle and opportunity that we have right now. So during the pandemic, we worked with a team. We created Downtown Evanston Works at downtownevanstonworks.com, a whole brand around it, really beautiful photography. And the website does, specifically list all of the office space that's available. So we've lost a lot of office tenants. But there's definitely some leads have been generated, not exactly maybe from this campaign, but there are companies looking at space here. We're perfectly located. We have 2 lines of transportation. We have a lot of parking. We're smaller. Smaller buildings feels a little safer, in terms of a pandemic and all of those things.
Right.
And maybe everyone wants to be a little bit closer to home. So we're really targeting our advertising for this campaign to decision makers and CEOs that live in the North Shore.
Well, this is a question that really, I think, spans the globe, but how do you bring people back to the office?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we've at the end of May 20th kicks off a Employee Appreciation Week. So the 20th is a Bike to Work rally, which is also part of Bike to Work Week. That's a Friday. And then on that Monday, we're having an ice cream social. On that Tuesday, we're having, quote, the world's largest coffee break. And everyone gets a free coffee mug, and it's branded. And our coffee providers will be giving out free coffee for about an hour and a half in Fountain Square. And then that Wednesday, we're having a happy hour at Fountain Square. And Thursday is like a lunch thing, and Friday is a free morning yoga session at Fountain Square. So we're not alone. Tons of organizations like ours and cities are pushing this, really kind of bribing people to come back to the office. We're going to give you, it's also a nice, gentle or passive-aggressive reminder that we need to be around people.
Yeah.
Working from home is tough. It is convenient in a lot of ways, and it might even, be less stress on your pocketbook because you don't have to pay for parking or gas right now, which is obviously a major issue for a lot of people. But with daycare and dropping kids off and picking kids up, it's changed families for sure. But at the end of the day, we are social.
Yes. And
we need to be around our peers and our coworkers. So I'm not saying back 5 days a week immediately, but maybe a 3-day hybrid seems to be a very popular model that some of these businesses are giving their employees the opportunity. The employees have all the power right now, too.
They do.
Yeah.
But I have to say, one of the reasons why I want to do this show again is because I want to be able to sit in the room with the person I'm speaking to.
Right.
I did so many interviews over Zoom, and I just can't take it anymore.
I can't take Zoom anymore. I'm so over it.
I'm so over it. Or I sit in my house, in my basement, and I have great setup for work. when I'm not showing houses and stuff, but like meeting with people, it's really, really easy. But like to come here in the office and be with some, like it just makes you happier.
Right. Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm in jeans right now, but I do still dress up for the most part. Not today. But if I'm having a meeting with anybody, I'm like, oh God, I get to wear my cute outfits, my work outfits.
Yeah.
I've missed that. I've missed putting on makeup and doing the whole routine, getting on the train. I take the train here every day. There's just a routineness about it that's very comforting to me.
Yeah.
But I think, I think it's time that we've had a lot of time at home.
Yeah.
It's time to get back out there. And you can see that even in real social ways. I went to Steppenwolf last night.
Nice.
And it was packed. Masked and proof of vaccine, so you feel comfortable if that's, you still need that. There's still a lot of places requiring that, but you can get out. And I saw a stand-up, Mike Birbiglia, he has the show there for like the next month or whatever. But it was just really nice to be around people, like seeing a live performance again. It just felt normal.
Yeah. I was in New Orleans for Jazz Fest.
Oh, wow.
And that was a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
it's
it was
a little,
awesome.
Yeah, I can see, there's like a little happy medium. And
Yeah.
Another struggle, a hard thing for these businesses too is a lot of the back and forth.
Yeah.
We're open. We're shut down again. Are we back open? Are we still shut down? Like who, and like some it was just so much to navigate. Like, well, who's open? Okay, grocery stores are open. They're, and then, but like the bike store is open.
Right. Because they're transportation.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, okay, that's great for them. But then the restaurants weren't. But at some level, I think somewhere mid 2021, I'm like, I feel like we all have collective whiplash. Mm-hmm. Like, are we open? Are we closed? What's the story? Can we go here? But it does seem like that has all lifted. And precautions are still, a huge thing, I think, for a lot of people. Safety mask requirements and things like that, although they aren't necessarily required, but a business might still require you to.
Yeah.
The vintage vinyl store, they want you masked to open or to go into their store. And I feel like people are being cool about it. Like, it's, you can choose not to go somewhere depending on your level of comfortableness, but.
Right. Or like you judge a situation. If you're in a place that's really, really crowded and like you're feeling uncomfortable, you put your mask on.
Right.
Or if you're in a place with two people and everyone's okay, like
right.
That's another thing too.
Yeah.
So I think it's like everyone's got to use their best judgment like we did in 2019.
Right.
Like get back to that.
2019.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's so true. And it's like even, I mentioned Rotary, like I joined it and I'm starting to like, we're starting to have meetings again in person. I've never been to any of their meetings in person before. And like getting to meet people who you've only met on Zoom in person is like the weirdest thing ever. It's like, do I know you? Oh yeah. and it's like, oh, I can hear you because we're in the same room. And it's like, there's no Zoom garbling or anything like that. And
yeah,
it's just such a wonderful thing.
Can you hear me? Yes, because you're in real life.
Right, in real time.
Yeah.
So I think that as people do those things, I personally, I don't think everyone's going to go back to an office 5 days a week unless it's required. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it should be. There are a lot of benefits to it. A lot more flexibility. People have lives. Like you're able to get your work done, do what you need to do. Like there's a happy medium mm-hmm. there. But for the health of the city, I think it's important that people come back, use the businesses, the restaurants and everything else. And then you start to realize, oh yeah, this is why I like living here.
Well, you mentioned the health of the city, which is hugely important, specifically for me in my role here. But I think it's really for the health of us.
Yeah.
Just to, to get out, to be social, as I've mentioned several times now, but doing normal things again. It's good for our brains. It really is. I mean, the studies of everything that's happened and what we've all collectively been through and not knowing what we were doing. And who do you turn to? Because nobody else knows how to do this either.
Yeah.
So I think the mental health part of it is also huge, and the physical. I'm sure you saw that we've lost the LA Fitness, which is very unfortunate. But we do have a lot of other places you can go for a workout or a class. We're kitty corner from one of those places right now, the YMCA, right? So
right, 2 blocks from EAC.
Yeah, and tons of other studios that provide that. That's also a huge one, I think, too, and been very slow to return for obvious reasons. It's you're very physical. You're doing things that are very COVID unfriendly. But
I work out at home now, and I don't think I'm going to be shifting that. And I used to work out at the EAC,
Yeah.
and I think it's a great gym. But you get used to that, like it's comfortable.
Yeah, well, I think it depends on your own ability to have the self-discipline to do that at home,
Right.
or if you need the camaraderie of your workout buddy or a trainer to push you.
Absolutely. Play some basketball together,
Right.
swim.
It's all, again, very social. We are social.
We
Even
are.
shopping is social.
Yes.
You go with a friend. Does this look good on me? You can't get that when you get a package on your doorstep.
And you could touch it.
Yes.
It's like I think that online sales have gone down significantly, or not, or they haven't risen as people were thinking that they would, because people are going back to brick and mortar stores.
Yes. Yeah, a good tell of that, of course, is the at least industry-wide, is that there are businesses expanding and looking for space in brick and mortar again. I hate to keep bringing up the mall, but they did just get a couple new retailers. That's a good sign for everybody, though.
Yeah.
This idea that retail's dead or retail apocalypse, it's not true.
No.
We're always going to be buying stuff, and we're always going to want to do it out in the world. Yes, some things are perfect for, online shopping's dog food, let's say, or things that you don't want to carry because they're heavy and all of that. But there's definitely a need, I think, for these third places that you aren't work or home.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that is shopping. We're Americans. We buy a lot of stuff.
we are consumers. By the way, you mentioned the LA Fitness space. What is going to be opening up there?
I don't know yet. The broker there has several bites, if you will, and leads.
You think it'll be a gym again?
I think some of it. It's 53,000 square feet, which is significant. That's larger than your standard grocery store, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Standard grocery store is 40 to 45,000, so it's even a little bigger than that. Maybe it can be a couple of different things, depending on who they can attract there and sign leases. I think they'll wait until they know who's coming to figure out the configuration of that. And it has that pool as well, so I don't know. I suggested one of those swim schools because why not?
Yeah, you could use it.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be great if it was a full-service gym. I think that if somebody could come in there, or maybe a new company that's maybe not in this geographic area right now that's looking to expand, that would be pretty wonderful to have that. I know some of my colleagues used to go there, and, I've gone there in years past too.
Yeah.
And, if they do some updating and whatnot, it'll be a great space again.
Yeah, absolutely. They had, they didn't have the amount of people they needed to make money.
Even before.
Yeah. No, truly. It's such a large space, and the rent plus taxes, a lot.
Yeah.
It's a major problem for downtown. Our storefront square footage rates are much higher than Central and Main Street and Dempster Street and other, commercial corridors in Evanston and beyond. So it's a major hurdle. It is. But we have, again, it's still Evanston. People still want to be here. It's still a great community with good population density and, medium family income and all that good stuff. And the university definitely
we have
helps.
Northwestern.
Yeah, not everybody has Northwestern.
No. So you talk, though, about social, and, it's important for people to be doing these things. You guys plan a ton of events. You talked about the ice cream social, the coffee, and all this kind of stuff. What other events do you have going on that are planned, like in the summer and, the rest of the year?
Yeah. So those specific events for like Employee Appreciation Week are geared to the office worker. But we tried to do very COVID friendly kind of hybrid events during COVID. We really utilized this application. It's a app on your phone called Event Z. And we hosted some scavenger hunts. So 2020, we hosted Make Lemonade, which was a scavenger hunt. And it was like, if life hands you lemons, make lemonade. And we had little installments of placemaking throughout and storefronts with lemons in their storefronts. And scavenger hunt, so you could, if you purchased something and took a photo of it, it counted for additional points. We did a similar thing, and we opened up to all of the districts in Evanston during the winter called Winter Games. So it was very much a spin on the Olympics, so Winter Games. And we had a whole host of really cool events wrapped around that as well. Fire pit events, a temperance with beer, and giving back to the community. So putting together gift bags, or not gift bags, but like supply bags for the homeless shelters. So that was a whole other thing we did. And again, not like totally social, but got you out of the house, right?
Yeah.
And off your screen and off of Zoom and kids learning on screens, all of that. We needed to be out in nature. And, we're a winter city. I love winter personally, so this is like a pet project of mine to get people out and realize that, even in the winter, you can enjoy the outdoors, if you're safe about it.
Yeah.
We are right now working, we have a little bit of an installment going on called Flower Power. Very, 70s peace and love kind of vibes, right? We're not, but we're experiencing a war. A lot of people are, it's a heavy thing. Right after all of this has happened, there's a war on top of it. So
that could scare the hell out of you. And I feel so badly for the people who are directly impacted.
Yeah, it's really unreal.
It's unreal.
Mean, just to finally, we all survived this thing.
Right.
Or the ones of us that did, and then, and we've lost so many people, and it's just hard. It's a heavy, heavy time, dark time. So we're putting, I'm not saying we're solving the world's problems by putting colorful, bright colors and flowers out there in the world, but we're trying to get back in the swing of things a little bit and stay optimistic.
I love that.
We have a wine event, a sip and stroll event that's coming up the 6th. And then it's Mother's Day, and it's spring, and the flowers are planted, and we're really doing an overhaul of all the flower beds around town so we can, spruce up the place a little bit, if you will. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing we're doing. And then we did, last summer we used to have these dancing events Thursday night.
Yeah.
I didn't think people were going to be really into going out and being that social yet, right? Like sort of dancing and so we flipped it, and we had Thursday night markets. So once a month we hosted and closed up the street, and we worked with Evanston Made to bring in local artists to sell their wares, because they didn't have 2 years of street fests, where they do a fair amount of their sales for the year. So we offered that up for free, and we had a DJ who Johnny Price. Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah,
we had
nice
Smiley
guy.
Brothers selling beer. So we had that like street fest feel, but like very low key. And we're going to do that again this summer. We're doing some daytime music events, again, for that office population, but anybody who lives here can come out and see some. And again, very low key. We're not like having dancing events necessarily. And what else do we have? Oh, in the fall, last fall, we had a great event called Fall Fest. And we had the swing set drum kit. We had face painting and pumpkin decorating. And it was also Northwestern Homecoming weekend, which we've never really hosted a big event for. And wow, what a missed opportunity. Now we've learned our lesson. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people in town for that. And we kind of set the stage and had a party for them.
Wow.
We had, again, DJ and beer, and we had the makers out there. But we had a lot of other like interactive things. So we're going to really do that again this year, and maybe do a weekend of it and not just a day, still kind of yet to be determined. So yeah, we're still doing some things and trying to bring people downtown. It'd be nice if that fountain was working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you probably saw that too. We, again, you gotta make lemonade out of, but the fountain was broken, so we put turf over it, and we painted. Laura Brown, who works with me, we painted picnic tables and put them out there.
When is that fountain going to be working again?
I'm not sure. I really am not.
That's a crazy story. I don't know if you want to get into that, but
well, I mean, it's yeah. It too is subject to pandemic. Really, I mean, it was broken, and not. There were so many other things you have to triage the situations, like things breaking, and that just I don't think as I know it, there wasn't. Yes, well, there was that, and then it might not have been known that it was broken, so it was kind of leaking under there for a minute. It did eventually get caught, obviously, but now it's a legal thing. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. What I do know is that downtown Evanston is bringing back the turf and the picnic tables.
Okay, it's still a great square.
It is. Yes.
Yes.
It's a place for people.
Yes.
And we would like to see people come and get food and bring it to the picnic table and kind of enjoy themselves in the outdoors, which is still a big favorite. To eat outdoors.
It is. I mean, I way enjoy eating outside more if I can, if it's good weather, because it's, who actually wants to, be inside if you're worried about COVID.
Yeah.
I mean,
so then we have something for everyone. You can eat indoors if you prefer AC and you don't want to chase your napkin around.
Yeah.
Or you can eat outside. Which is like another great thing also for families, right? So we did buy 2 little, just recently, kids picnic tables. So they're miniature.
That's so cute.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of it. And then I saw some and I'm like, oh my God, we have to have something for the littles.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So those will be out there. And we bought games and we put a game chest out there and you can play all sorts of board games and card games, and it's open during the day for people to come and utilize those. And
so you could just come to Fountain Square and play some games.
Yeah.
And
we nicknamed it Fun Time Square.
I like that.
Again, you have to really
lemonade
put the spin.
Out of those lemons.
You got to put the spin on some of the stuff, really.
Did you have I know you have a planning background, but did you have any like event planning, PR planning, anything like that in your background?
Well.
Or just Laura?
No. Well, Laura, a little bit. We both kind of bring something to the table.
Because it's so damn creative.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I that's the funnest part of the job. Without a doubt, is coming up with things that you can, put out there and see people enjoy it. I mean, none of this is like, sip and strolls, wine walks, those happen everywhere. But like naming it something kind of fun or different is definitely where you can get creative. And then those scavenger hunt apps, I mean, they existed, so why not use them? Yeah. And it's really kind of, but choose your own adventure, right? If you want to get involved in it very heavily and make a competition out of it, which is what Winter Games was. I feel that people who do what we do kind of bring what they love to the job and just kind of cross your fingers and hope everybody else loves that thing too. But my parents started a very large event in Chicago. So maybe party planning is in my blood and it's not necessarily like on paper. The Southside Irish Parade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a big one.
Yeah.
My father and his best friend kind of dreamed it up, and then with their wives, my mom and Mary and George Hendry, they created that event. And the story, as some people know it, kind of the lore is that, children were pushed in a buggy. Well, that's real. I was in that buggy. And that buggy is still pushed every year to this day.
Wow.
Well, at least this past year we pushed it. Yeah. It's an old pram. I mean, it's rusty and it's been around the block literally and figuratively.
Well, you really do have it in your blood.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I was the chairman of that event. It's a big undertaking, but it does prepare you a little bit.
A little?
Well, parades are way different than ticketed events and things like that. But, you get the basics down and you're good to go.
Yeah. Evanston's lucky to have you.
Thank you. That is so sweet.
It's so true. I mean, hats off to you for what you've put up with. And I mean, we all have, but like you specifically, this, for me, Evanston's always got a soft spot in my heart. Just, I grew up in Skokie. Evanston was the cool place to come to as a teenager. There's fun things to do. I remember Dr. Wax, like the CDs and, everything, or, you go to the 1800 Club or all these places that don't exist anymore, but were like, part of my upbringing. And now like living here, working here, like it's such a wonderful place. And, you've kept it vibrant. And sure, we've had some places leave,
we've had some licks,
but so is everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to do in the middle of a pandemic? And you have kept it up. And I encourage everybody to check out what you're doing. Come to some of these events. Come back to the office and come shop here.
Shop and just enjoy. And the Fountain Square is still a great gathering place. And that idea of the third place is something we're really working on right now. We're rebranding, so we'll have a new brand soon that we'll be pushing out with another event yet to be announced. So there will be like a midsummer event that we hope is a real big one that I'm really excited
that's
about.
That's going to be cool. You'll have to tell me. I'll be happy to publicize it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the kind words. Yeah, it's been tough, but again, like you said, this is an iconic town. It's going to be fine. We're all going to be fine. We're I think cooking with some gas these days, and we'll be back. And just the office part is a struggle, but we have a lot of great things for people to come and do here if they don't work here. Visitors. Oh yeah. We have a beautiful beach, all the beaches, and we have beautiful walking tours and architecture and gardens and Northwestern. I mean, that's a place anybody can walk around. It's not like you need an invitation. You can walk around the campus.
Oh, it's the prettiest place to walk.
So beautiful.
In, I don't know, the world? Like really, it's
so beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And just walking around all of Evanston. I absolutely love it. It's really great. Now, if people want to stay up to date on what you're doing, what is your website and, where should they follow you guys on social media?
So downtownevanston.org is our site, which is also getting a facelift midsummer. But Instagram is really where it's at, I think. So Laura does our Instagram, and she's phenomenal at it. I do Facebook because, I'm a geezer. And it's not as great. But, Instagram is a great spot to catch us. And, of course, Facebook, too. But yeah. And newsletters. So if you go to downtownevanston.org, you can put your name in the box on the homepage. And we will not inundate you with newsletters, but you will get a lot of great information through that. We do about 2 a month.
Yeah, no, I get those, and you do a great job of getting the local businesses part of it. I know here at Dreamtown, we've done different events with some of the scavenger hunts and things like that.
Trick or treat, you guys did trick or treat.
Yeah, I had my kids getting everything all together, and we decorated the office and everything. So we'll do it again. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone, for listening to this first episode back. And if you want to see the past episodes, learn more about me, go to skevinston.com. It's got great information there. And also, if you're looking for any real estate, I am your local expert. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.